Baseball is back, and at Team Toyota, savings and selection are back too. With tons of new Toyota SUVs, trucks, and hybrids to choose from, and with our lineup of over 200 certified used Toyotas, you can find the right fit for you and your budget. Plus, our service and collision centers are here to get you back in the game in no time. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or online at teamtoyota.net. Well, Sean Kane, they did it. The Phillies did something. Dave Dombrowski did something, and it's exciting. Welcome into the Phillies Talk podcast presented by Team Toyota. I am McKercher, joined by Sean Kane, and a little emergency pod before we get set for a big day tomorrow. We will be live at 5:30 tomorrow for a little trade deadline special. Bob Cooney will join us, and there could be some special guests joining us as well. So keep an eye out for that. But we felt the need to come in and talk to you guys after the Phillies lost to the White Sox and lost a series to the White Sox. Kind of a gross game. We'll get to that later. But obviously the big news that we want to talk about is the Phillies acquiring Jhoan Duran from the Minnesota Twins for Mick Abel and Eduardo Tait. Kaner, on the last pod you and I talked, I just pulled up the clip posted on Twitter. I said that I am completely down for giving up Tait for Duran, not Andrew Painter. And they were not able, or I guess they were able to keep Andrew Painter, but then they sent Mick Abel away. Just your initial reactions to the trade and kind of the chaos that ensued here at the office after 1, a 3.5-hour rain delay, and 2, just in the middle of that game.
Long day at the office with the rain delay. I don't know it was longer, the rain delay or everybody trying to figure out the correct way to pronounce Jhoan Duran. There's a lot of Johans, there's a lot of Durans, but we're going to go with Jhoan Duran.
That's right.
And I think it's a great deal. It's a great deal for a lot of reasons. He's electric reliever out of the bullpen. The velocity is insane. The stuff is insane. Back end bullpen guy. He's your closer. He can lock down big outs late in the game, the regular season, the postseason. He's great. He's a great player. Dominant relievers are hard to find, and he's one of a very small handful of them in baseball. Number 2, he's under club control for this year and 2 more. So essentially 3 postseason runs. This guy will be a Philly under club control, not a free agent until after the 27 season. That's a huge deal. Not a rental and 1-year guy. He's a 2.5-year guy. And 3, I think, what they gave up. They gave up guys that are good players. Like Mick Abel has proven he can pitch effectively at the big league level. He's also proven he can get knocked around at the big league level. What he is remains to be seen. I'm okay with giving up Mick Abel, especially for this return. Eduardo Tait, I think, is the kind of the key to the deal. We'll see in a few years down the line. He's still a young guy. He's not going to be up at the big league level for a couple of years, but clearly the Twins are high on him. To give up Duran for him and Abel. It won't surprise me if Tait lives up to the billing and he's an all-star catcher, and that's great for the Twins, all-star caliber catcher down the road, but could be a win-win if Duran helps the Phillies win a World Series. And like I said, they have him for this year and 2 more. So I'm good with it. I think it's a great deal. Didn't give up Painter, didn't give up your boy Aiden Miller, didn't give up Justin Crawford. We'll see. We'll see what's left here before the deadline tomorrow at 6 o'clock if they get a bat. But this was the big piece to the bullpen, what they needed, that impact arm, back end of the pen. They got a great one. To me, he was after Clase's out, I think he's the best guy available, and they got him. Helsley's good. Mason Miller's good. But to me, Duran's the guy. His numbers, his track record, his age, he's only 27. We talked about the club control. Just, 5-star across the board for me.
If some of our listeners remember too, I was high on this guy from the middle of April all the way on when we kind of started talking about what this team needs. I am so happy, man. And you mentioned it, not to give up Aiden Miller is huge, not to give up, obviously, Andrew Painter. We'll get to that too. That could have been some Scott Boras smoke, just with the whole rumors of the Dodgers interested in Duran, and they only wanted Painter. That's the only way the deal would get done. We'll get to that. But this is such a home run hit for the Phillies to give up Tait and Mick Abel. Obviously, I love Mick, man. He's such a great dude. I've talked to him every spring since he's been drafted. Kind of turned out to be one of my, go-to, you could call him like go-to guys to talk to every spring. And he always looked forward to it. And I'm going to miss him. But I think, he has a strong chance to probably start for the Twins this season. I think they'd probably throw him in the starting rotation. Kind of sounds like the Twins are kind of going in the different direction. They don't know whether to be buyers or sellers. obviously they decided to sell here. But the Duran acquisition, man, and I kept watching his entrance.
Yeah.
Oh man, I tweeted out like that's going to be electric come October, even some of these games in September as we get set for the playoffs, hopefully, and Red October. But the Jason Stark tweet, 18 batters faced in 4 postseason appearances, only 2 hits allowed, 0 runs, 6 strikeouts, and 0 extra base hits.
Right.
Obviously, it is different pitching in Minnesota coming to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a huge change for him. But hopefully he can be ready for it. And he's just electric, man. I'm so glad they got this deal done. He has a 2.1 ERA so far this season.
Yeah.
He has, I think, 272 strikeouts over 233 in the third innings over 4 years. I mean, he has just been that shutdown guy for the Twins, and hopefully this can happen for the Phillies here going forward too.
Yeah, and you mentioned the postseason numbers. That would have been my one concern with like a Mason Miller.
Right.
Like great stuff, theoretically would be a great addition to the bullpen, but he's never pitched in a big game that's impacted any type of pennant race. He's been pitching in Sacramento and Oakland, kind of in obscurity. So how does he react if he gets shipped to the Northeast, Philadelphia pennant race? It's a whole different ball game, literally. But Duran's been there in the playoffs. He's pitched in the postseason, as you said, and he's pitched well. So another check in the positives column, another pro there for the addition of Duran.
Yeah, and so he has a 2.01 ERA, 53 strikeouts in 49 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the splitter is like 97, 98.
Yeah.
His fastball is at 100, 101. Yep. We really haven't. I mean, Jose Alvarado has been that guy, but obviously without him, things are going to be a lot different come October.
Right.
Now, it's just it's that one move that everyone was so worried that they weren't going to make this big move. Now that it happens, I'm very happy with the bullpen. We've mentioned it numerous times on this podcast that Ranger Suarez will most likely move the bullpen, maybe Jesus Luzardo.
Yep.
And then you have, I know Romano has been up and down, but you have him, you have Orion Kirkering, you have Matt Strom, and now Duran.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion, that's a shutdown bullpen, especially come playoff time.
No doubt. Yeah. And I think a lot depends on like Aaron Nola. If Aaron Nola comes back and pitches well for a month and a half, and then he can prove that, hey, he's your game 3 starter, then you have the flexibility with Ranger. Because right now, Ranger would be your game 3 starter, in my opinion. But yeah, Luzardo is in the mix. You mentioned at least Alvarado for the end of the postseason. But yeah, no, just the end of the regular season. But postseason wise now, theoretically, Duran, Strom, Kirkering, David Robertson, obviously Jordan Romano. We'll see what becomes of him. Before today's game, I was starting to think, Max Lazar might have a role.
He still
could. He had a bad day, but he'd been pitching really well. So you have some options, and I think you're going to have some starters clearly, whether that's Ranger, Luzardo moving to the pen. So the pen got a lot more depth moving forward here, and then Painter's still Painter. So do they bring him up at some point and let him be a weapon out of the bullpen, throwing 100 miles an hour as well? So we'll see. A lot of options, but Duran is the guy. He's their best reliever automatically, immediately. And it's, just a great trade. A great trade. Didn't give up. Painter didn't give up the top guys, as we said. So I like it for all those reasons.
And we're going to get to Dave Dombrowski here in a second, but he was asked today after the game on Monday, or excuse me, on Wednesday, whatever day it is, dude.
Yeah,
what? Jesus.
It's been a
long day.
Yeah.
But he was asked, Rob Thompson really hasn't had a closer per se.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't really decided on, hey, this is our 9th inning guy. Obviously, Craig Kimbrell, wasn't, but like
the end of that 23 regular season, he kind of was, but
for sure. And then when it came playoff time, it was like, hey, we saw him in the 6th, 7th inning sometimes. So
yeah.
Dave Dombrowski was asked about that, and he said, I haven't really talked to Rob about it yet, but he's our closer.
Yeah.
Dave Dombrowski's making that decision that you actually have a shutdown closer now.
Yep.
Speaking of Dave, let's go to him real quick. This is him after Wednesday's loss to the White Sox in Chicago. The Phillies officially made it official right after that game. So here's Dave Dombrowski and his comments on the acquisition of Jhoan Duran.
We like quite a few closers or quite a few relievers. There weren't very many available as time went on. Some of the other organizations decided to not make some moves, so we just thought he was the best guy out there, really, is what it came that was available to be acquired. A lot of clubs have been talking about if we were going to acquire their closer, that they were asking for Andrew Painter. We decided that we weren't going to trade Andrew in this trade. And so we felt this was a deal that we got a dominant closer for a tough price, 2 good players, but something that we think where we are makes sense. We would not have paid this price for a rental. So that's what really is a difference for us. So not only this year, but 2 more years, 2 more seasons after this. So if we were talking a pure rental, we would not have traded these players for that. I really didn't think this one was possible, a couple days ago. I'm not really sure what the difference was in that regard. I do think that having Abel close to the big leagues made a difference, because I do know that they had a lot of interest in him. We've heard from a lot of clubs that were trying to get him after we got him. And so they really picked up over the last few days. And really, even this afternoon, when we were, or late morning, I should say, because we were at the hotel, that's when we really kind of, okay, give me your best offer. We had gone over so many different other possibilities and names. And, so it really picked up over the last, really more so today. This is where really, Derek had mentioned to me, I don't know what time it is. It was, well, what the time was, 5 o'clock. It was 5 o'clock. He was going into an ownership meeting, 5 o'clock Minnesota time, to discuss whatever options they had, he told me. But really, a couple hours before that is when we really start going back and forth.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Especially just him kind of breaking down how it even happened.
Yeah.
He mentioned Derek there, the president of baseball operations for the Twins. This deal, I mean, like I said, there was smoke in the fire with the Twins aren't going to do the deal unless Andrew Painter's involved. And then obviously, I think that was Scott Boras' smoke, just to get either the Dodgers asking price up and or the Phillies, I don't know, seeing if they could play their hand at whatever they needed to do. But I mean, we go in real quick with Tait and Abel. I mean, Mick, I think he was brought up to kind of showcase everybody. I think
it worked out well.
He didn't develop as fast as the Phillies wanted him to after he was drafted in 2020. And like I said, man, I feel bad for him, but hopefully this is a fresh start for him in Minnesota. And then with Eduardo, he's the 56th overall prospect in baseball. I said in the last pod that he's 19. He doesn't turn 19 until August 27th.
Yeah.
He's the 4th prospect in the Phillies organization. Again, man, he's 19. Like, this is one of those things that he could be generational.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, no, he could be really good.
But this is a guy that I think you needed to get rid of, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, for the return for Duran,
yes,
no doubt.
correct.
Now, as Dave Dombrowski just said, we weren't going to pay this price for rental. That stood out. It also stood out to me that, obviously we decided pretty early that they weren't going to trade Andrew. And the Twins like the fact that Mick Abel, as you just said, is kind of major league ready and can kind of slide right into that major league rotation. So all kind of stood out to me there. As you mentioned, they kind of broke down how they started really going back and forth this afternoon on Wednesday afternoon. And one thing I'll say about Dave Dombrowski, there's been a lot of, and I think fairly, rightfully so, his deadline deals the last 3 years have been no major, you go back to 22, you get Marsh, you get Syndergaard, 23, you get Lorenzen, and Castro. Last year, you get Estevez and Banks and Austin Hayes. All moves that are like, but this is by far, in my opinion, his most impactful deadline acquisition to date as the Phillies president of baseball operations. And this is a big time reliever. As he said, we thought he was the best reliever available. I agree. They went out, they got him, they paid a price. I think it was a reasonable price considering under club control for 2 more years. So all makes sense. All sounded good from Dave Dombrowski. And it was good to hear him, kind of explain how this went down and explain why they decided to do the deal and who they wanted to conclude and who they didn't want to.
All right, Kaner, switching gears real quick. You know why? Football season is quickly approaching. We're about 8 weeks away from the Eagles hosting the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. They'll be raising that beautiful Super Bowl banner. I'm pretty fired up. You have to be too.
Super fired up. Birds coming off of the Super Bowl win. NFL season not far away, like you said. I'm excited. I'm ready to see the Eagles defend that Super Bowl trophy. Should be a fun year.
Oh, it's going to be a fun year. And you know what else is always fun? Our friends at Philly Sports Trips. Join NBC Sports Philadelphia and Philly Sports Trips for the ultimate fan experience. Lock in your spot today and be a part of the Birds Takeover in Kansas City. It's the weekend of September 13th through the 16th. Rematch of the Super Bowl. Game is going to be electric. We already know that. We can't wait for those Birds, and we can't wait for that game. Book now. All right, Kaner, mark your calendars. We're heading down to the shore for a Phillies watch party. Join us in our favorite spot, Sea Isle City, on August 12th to watch the Phillies face the Reds with raffles, special guests, and more. This one should be fun, huh?
Oh, man. Down the shore, Phillies baseball, things heating up. You can't go wrong in Sea Isle, Spence, at least from my experience. I don't know if you could say the same. But,
I can definitely say the same.
Always a fun time down there. So, absolutely, I'm in, man. Count me in.
Yeah, mark your calendars. They'll be coming up here on August 12th. They're done in the bullpen.
Bullpen.
they're done with the bullpen. They love David Robertson. They trust Kerkering. They trust Schramm.
Mm-hmm.
They trust Banks. They trust Lazar.
Yeah.
I think that's okay with me. And we'll see going forward. But yeah, this is by far his best deal that he's made trade-wise. Obviously, the signings, that's a different story. His offseason signings is a whole different thing. Yes, but deadline acquisition-wise, this is the best thing that Dave Dombrowski has done as a member of the Phillies organization. And going forward now, we're going to listen to Dave real quick one more time and kind of just get his thoughts on. We sit here, it's 9:45. This pod will be out later tonight, but the trade deadline is at 6 p.m. on Thursday, so less than 24 hours till then, about 21 hours. So here's what Dave Dombrowski and the Phillies have to say about the rest of the deadline.
Looking for bullpen help? Or do you
No.
This is it?
No, I mean, if somebody puts somebody that's so good on here, but between Duran, we've got Robertson coming, and we're pleased with his progress. We have Kerkering from the right-hand side, and then with Strom and Banks. We feel very comfortable where we are. And I'm going to talk to Topper, and he'll talk more about him. He's a legitimate closer, so we feel he'll fit into that role for us.
Did you come in here and say anything to the clubhouse after?
No,
Okay.
no. I don't even know if they know. Personally, I have no idea.
And would you see yourself getting any kind of offensive upgrade before 6 p.m. tomorrow?
Well, we're not done. So, I mean, we're not done talking, and the deadline's not over. We'll just see what ends up happening. I really don't know. They're tough to acquire too right now. So we have to kind of see what happens tomorrow, really.
You said with Painter, you said you weren't going to move him at least in this trade, or at least at this time for a closer or reliever. Is he?
No, we're not. We're just not moving.
You're just not moving him.
We weren't
flatly. Okay.
Well, we weren't. I mean, I can't tell you 5 years from now.
No. I mean
that's
right now. Right now.
No,
this
we were
trade
talking
deadline,
about not trading.
Okay.
No, we're not trading.
I love that. Yeah, we're not. Andrew Painter was not getting traded. 5 years from now, who knows?
Right.
But Andrew Painter right now is not getting traded.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he hinted at it. They're not done.
Yeah.
The big thing is bats, and we'll obviously get to that in the trade deadline special tomorrow. But I mean, what are your thoughts on his comments? That
they're not done. They shouldn't be done talking and listening to teams, because you saw it again on Wednesday in Chicago. The White Sox throw a bullpen game, and they have 2 runs, score 2 runs through 8 innings. Marsh hits a homer in the 9th, make it 3. The offense is so hot and cold. And that's baseball. I get it, but they're way too inconsistent offensively. We've seen it in the postseason the last couple of years, and you can get Jhoan Duran, and that's great. But if you're losing the playoff games 3-1, and what's Jhoan Duran doing? You need an offensive boost. I like that Marsh is hitting. I don't want to discredit that. Marsh is hitting, and he's been hitting for a while, and he hit 2 home runs the last couple of days. And I think that's big.
He cut his hair.
Exactly. But you just need more from the outfield, man. You need an outfield bat. Or if you go out and get a Eugenio Suarez or somebody in the infield, and you can move the pieces. Bryce is up for going back to the outfield if that makes sense. So I just think you have to bring in a bat. How impactful, we'll see, but you just can't stand pat with this offense, I don't think. And you can't say, okay, well, we'll bring up Justin Crawford, and I like Justin Crawford too, but you can't count on him on sparking the offense. You need a guy that's done it with a track record, with a little juice, with a little pop. There's guys out there. We've talked a lot about Suarez. We've talked about some other guys. Obviously, we just saw Luis Robert, the good and bad of him this series, but he's a guy I think with a little more upside, a little more potential as a hitter, change of scenery type guy. So we'll see. But it would surprise me if by 6 o'clock tomorrow they don't add a bat of some sort.
Yeah, me too. 100%. I think he's definitely not done, and I think he's going to see the excitement from this trade right now. That okay, yeah, you know what? And like he said in the comments that we played earlier, this is an exciting trade. This is a big trade, and we're going all in. And this is the year to do it. Now, it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of asking price, especially as kind of time ticks down here. I'm assuming some of the asking prices might go down, especially if you're the Diamondbacks, especially if you're the White Sox. I think right now they're trying to just play their hand and see what happens. But
Stevie
I think
Kwan's still out there.
Yep.
Miller for Kwan. Get it done.
No, please.
No, I'm just saying there's guys out there that I think could be had. Kwan's one of them.
Yeah, it was funny. I saw a video today after the Guardians game this afternoon. He waved to the fans out in left field.
Yeah.
Gave a little wave.
Yeah.
That could be his last game as a Guardian. I mean, hey, I would take Stephen Kwan. Do not trade Abe Miller. I'm going to continue to stand on my milk box on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the next 20 hours here. I think they're definitely not done. Whether that's a bet, I think you're right though. And it's so funny because it stinks that you sit here and you're like, I was so excited. And I even tweeted, this game doesn't matter to me right now. but yeah, it is a little disappointing that they ended the series like that, getting blown out, scoring, the White Sox scored 7 runs there in the seventh and eighth. Yeah, in the seventh inning alone.
2 runs through 8 innings.
Not great.
Yeah.
And again, the rain delay probably didn't help that.
Yeah.
These guys were cooked already before that. And, I mean, we were too. We're sitting here it's a long day.
Yeah. But we've seen 4 months of this outfield not really produce. Like Castellanos has been fine, but like center field and left field, not enough outfield juice offensively. And I think that's kind of been a proven thing at this point. So we'll see.
Yeah. And like I said, there could be some surprising names that show up out of nowhere here.
No doubt.
And if Dave can pull the trigger on that, then yeah, give up Aiden Miller for someone that's going to be a difference maker. But I would take Luis Robert for the right call. I mean, throw Dante Nori in there, throw Griffin Burkholder in there, throw some of these guys in there, sure.
Right, but not top guys.
No.
Yeah.
And then again, if you bring up Justin Crawford, we'll see. Also, just some news and notes around the league too. The Mets, they get Ryan Helsley and they get Taylor Rogers. Or was it Taylor or Tyler?
I thought it was Tyler.
I think it's maybe
they
it's
both
Tyler.
got traded.
Today.
Yeah,
the twins got traded. And then the Twins made a trade. But yeah, so the Mets obviously are boosting their bullpen. It's a little scary.
Yeah.
It's a little scary. I think they're doing it, and they got Soto, so that's a lefty. They get Rogers, a lefty, and then Helsley, who can come in and shut the door. I mean, that's a pretty good trade deadline for the New York Mets, and I think it's probably more or less looking out at us, right, or at the Phillies right now, and being like, hey,
for sure.
This is
the race is on
for Bryce.
I mean, we're on 2 months now. It's 2 months left in the season. I think today was game 108 for the Phils, so that's officially 2/3 of the way through. And the Phils and Mets are both loading up. It'll be a race, I think, to the finish, and obviously, hopefully, the Phillies, if they don't win the division, will still get in as a wild card. But yeah, man, the Mets made some nice moves today to address their bullpen for sure. And the Phillies got the big name guy, the best guy. But you said it, Helsley's good, Rogers is good. Gregory Soto, whatever. I think he got roughed up already last night.
He did.
So we'll see, but yeah, no, it's interesting. Obviously, they already have Diaz and a couple other guys that pitch well for him. So it's a nice bullpen. They got some talent offensively, and they're a good squad. So we'll see how it all plays out over these next couple months.
It was nice for them to get swept by the Padres out there.
Yeah.
But however, the Phillies lose 2 of 3. They finished 500 on this road trip.
Yep.
It's like, man, you lost a big chance to gain ground here. And this White Sox series was somewhat of a disappointment. Obviously, Tuesday night was great, but the Monday night loss, and then you lose today like that. It is a little disappointing.
Yes,
so
agreed.
But hey, they come back home. What a fun series this weekend against the Tigers.
Yeah,
I mean, Saturday is going to be awesome, and we'll get to that tomorrow in the trade deadline special. But Saturday, Scooble Wheeler, Saturday, fun, and then Friday night, obviously, in addition to the game, you got the Wall of Fame ceremony. Sunday night, alumni ceremony. So all the pomp and circumstance, a lot of big names back at the ballpark for alumni weekend. It's going to be awesome. The Tigers obviously are a first place team with their designs in the World Series. So a couple of World Series contenders with a lot of cool ceremonies going on to honor Jimmy Rollins and Ed Wade and everything else. It'll be a fun series. But yeah, man, Saturday, Wheeler Scooble. that'll be something. We're going to be crossing our fingers. Yeah. Just you and I for everyone that knows, That's right. Yes. But yeah, and Dave Dombrowski mentioned that Duran will be with the club on Friday too. Yeah, so man. It's exciting stuff. We might even see that entrance this weekend. So that'd be yeah. Especially maybe after Wheeler pitches a gem and it's a close game on Saturday. Bring him in. That'll be cool. That'd be nice. So it's exciting stuff, man. I'm very happy for the Phils and what they got. And like we said, though, I don't think Dave is done, and we'll have it all tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be fun, man. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be fun. You'll be at home. I'll be at home. I'll be off day for the fighting, so I'll be at home. But yes, 5:30. You said it, myself, you, and Bob, and maybe some special guests. That's right, baby. Kind of reacting live to whatever happened earlier in the day or what might transpire during that 5:30 to 6 window, because deals get done right up until 6 o'clock. So they do. That'll be fun to react, and then finally after 6, once the dust settles, kind of assess the haul and how much better they were able to improve the roster these last couple of days. Yep, because the next time we see this team, the trade deadline will be over. We can finally stop talking about the deadline and what they need to do, because Dave and company will have everything sorted out hopefully by Friday. Yeah, it should be an hour show tomorrow. Depending if they don't do anything, we'll probably cut it about 45 minutes, but we will be with you through the trade deadline tomorrow, live at 5:30, going through that 6 o'clock trade deadline. Should be a fun one, man. I'm looking forward to it. So until tomorrow, we'll talk to you guys then. Go Phils. Shout out to them for making a deal like this. Like I said, I'm very happy. So for Spencer McKercher, I'm Sean Kane. You're Spencer McKercher. That's right. Yes. That's Sean Kane. Yes, I'm Spencer McKercher. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.